Hello, good morning, and welcome. And a very happy feast day to you on this first day of March, which is the feast day of St. David, patron saint of Wales. So, what do we know about St. David? Well, we know that the national symbol of Wales, the leek, owes its origins as a national symbol to St. David, because it was St. David who advised the soldiers in Battle of the Welsh soldiers to wear a leek in their helmets so that they would not end up killing each other, so they could distinguish between friend and foe. And it seemed to work quite well. And they won the battle. So the leek caught on, and of course it's a symbol today, and you often see Welsh rugby fans with a leek pinned to their shirts. It makes you rather glad to be English, doesn't it? And be able to wear a rose rather than a leek. So what else do we know about David? Well, he lived in the 6th century. He was a monk, a priest. He was engaged in missionary work, and he founded many monasteries. And his monks, David and his monks, lived very simple, even austere lives. So when they did their farm work, they didn't use any animals to help them. They just did it all by hand. And their food was simply bread, vegetables, and water. Now you would think that kind of style of life would make them pretty miserable. It would be a hard grind. I mean, even doing that for a day would be difficult enough. But no, what characterized the lives of David and his monks was joy. So one thing that's very memorable about St. David are his last words, his final words to his monk. His famous last words before he died to his monks were, "Be joyful, keep the faith, and do the little things you have seen and heard me do." So in your final words, you want to say something significant, don't you? You want people to remember what you think is important. So for David, it was, be joyful, keep the faith, and do the little things well, basically. Now, Teilhard de Chardin was a priest and a philosopher and a scientist, and he once wrote, "Joy is the infallible sign of God's presence." You know, that being content to experience joy, we don't have to add anything else to our lives. We are fulfilled. We are content. So joy is the infallible sign of the presence of God. Maybe we don't have to add anything. Maybe we want to take some things away, like our fears and our anxieties, our selfishness and sin, our making excuses, about being worried about what other people think. No, to be content. Joy is the infallible sign of the presence of God. So the best advice for this feast comes from the patron himself, the patron saint, whose feast we celebrate, St. David. Be joyful, keep the faith, and do the small things well. God bless you.